Today I'm here with Maximilian, and this is our very first coaching session, so I'm very curious and excited about what he brings. And now, Maximilian, this is all for you. Thank you for being here with me.
Thanks, Monica.
So before we start, how do you want me to call you, Maximilian or Max? What's the most comfortable for you?
Max is fine, just
Max. Okay, then I will call you Max. Okay, I'm very excited. We talked briefly in our discovery call about what you are about to do and what you're expecting, but I will use this session today, this very first coaching session, again, a little bit to look on your goals. Where do you want to go? What's keeping you back? And just opening all the doors, and then we can see which strategy we can use to bring you wherever you want to go.
Sounds great.
Okay, perfect. Max, what is it that you want to get out from the whole coaching program we will have together? What's the most amazing goal?
So I have this program in my mind, which I would like to launch, and I feel I'm sort of procrastinating and not really moving along as I want to. So the amazing outcome would be if I would be excited to get going, to work towards that goal, and to ultimately then realize it and launch my challenge that I'm planning to do.
Okay, so what I hear you say is that you have a program, a challenge in your mind you want to launch, but you have observed already a little bit the habit of procrastination, and you want to work towards this goal, launching this program, getting excited to do that. What is it that you expect from yourself when you think about this goal?
That's a good question. So, I mean, what now comes to my mind is that I also want to enjoy the process, because I think in the past I was working more towards I need to do this and I need to work hard, and I forget a bit like the joy in creating. So I think that's also something probably I experienced from my last job that I used to work at, because in the beginning I was really passionate, and then it turned around and I actually felt quite exhausted, and I didn't feel the joy and excitement anymore. So now when I think about it, it reminds me a bit of this lack of joy that actually I'm not sure why, but it's like I'm not allowing myself actually to enjoy the process as well. That's just came to my mind.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So when I understand you right, is what you say is that what you expect from yourself is not only like doing this, but also enjoying it, like not running and hustling through that, but even enjoying every step of this creation.
Yeah,
Is that
that
correct?
sounds
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. And from this session today, what would be the greatest outcome from today?
I think sparking that excitement that really is my motivation, that's moving me forward, because I know I can also, if there are parts I don't like so much, if there's enough excitement, I will continue and I will do it. But right now, I think amazing would be if I feel again this excitement in really doing it, feeling and knowing why I want to do it. I think this would be a great outcome for me.
Yeah, we can definitely work on that. And you already read my mind a little bit, because while you were talking, I was, of course, the question which comes always in my mind is, why do you want to launch this program? What's behind this goal?
Yes. What's behind this goal? So, because I overcome a huge challenge myself, in, like I mentioned, with where I used to work. And then I just really worked so much that I've been completely exhausted and I didn't feel any passion anymore. And I think I want to help others, but maybe in an earlier stage. So I I was quite like at the end of this exhaustion road, and I would like to actually help others who feel like they're in a certain part in their life where they just feel they need to let go of emotional baggage because the system and the way how they function in their day-to-day life is not really fulfilling them anymore. So I want to help people to reconnect with themselves, to let go of like emotional blocks, limiting beliefs that keep them stuck and maybe even lead them into burnout. And so I really want to like create that spark in people so they can actually feel connected to their self and to their joy again.
I love that. And what I hear you say is now it's interesting because what I observe is that you want to work on getting this energy, this motivation, and this spark in this piece of your work, which will be the program. And at the same time, whatever you learn while you go towards this goal, you can even use for this program. So that's amazing. It's an absolute win-win situation. Sounds for me like that.
Yeah, they're quite parallels, right?
Yeah. So why do you think, are you the right person for doing this?
I think I'm the right person because, I mean, I myself, went through this massive, huge transformation. And, I was sort of like, work was my complete fulfillment. And I was really focused on a small part of my life. And I realized it's due to, upbringing and due to getting a lot of praise and validation from work. But I realized that's of course not all of it. And like I'm so much more than like my work and what I do. And I had to really shed a lot of limiting beliefs and beliefs around that got me into the wrong direction. And over years I really transformed myself. I learned so much. Then I studied psychology, then I trained in RTT, and also I did a lot of coaching and coaching certifications. And so all the knowledge that I've gained through years and years studying and growing myself into this person where I am now, having all the methods and tools, I think I'm just the right person because I've went there already. I took the path, and I can be a guide for the person, and help them to go this route much faster than for me. For me, it took me such a long time. I mean, I learned a lot, but I think people can have a much shorter way of getting there. And I think because I experienced it myself and I've trained a lot, I'm just the right person because I connect also, to this person who wants to change.
Yeah, and when you speak, that's what I'm sensing is there is a big connection and there is this passion within you because you went through the same journey. You went this road. You know how it is to be totally burned out and to lose the passion, but you also know what's on the other side and how to get there. I'm wondering what is now in the way between you where you are now and the program? Why haven't you launched it already?
So I think one question for me always is like, where is this person? Like, is this person feeling at their low point? Is this person just realizing I should change something, but I don't know how to change? So that's one question for me. Where exactly does this person stand? Like, so they can really benefit from my program and I can really design the program for the person where they are at this point in time. So I think that's a question for me because I think being completely burned out and completely like at their low point is quite a difficult place maybe to start. so I'm not sure. I want to feel into where I want to, where I want to come in and be the guide. So I think that's the question for me. That one question that keeps me from moving ahead.
So the question that keeps you from moving ahead is, you want to first understand where is your audience. Is that correct? Where
Correct.
are they at a super low point of burnout, or
Yes.
are they just a little bit stressed, so that you can really feel into them and
Yes.
therefore pick them up wherever they need you?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a big question mark for me. Yes.
How can you find out?
That's a good question too. How can I find out? I mean, I can try to find out, to imagine how that person maybe like how this person feels right now, and like what's bothering them. I think I would need to really focus and think about this and feel into it.
So you could, in theory, right now, just think about it and feel into that. That's something you want to do. And why haven't you done this before?
I don't know, maybe I don't know. Now I'm like, maybe I'm scared. I think that's just what comes up, yeah.
And what are you scared of?
I think I'm scared, like if I'm honest, I think I'm scared in feeling and need to feel how I felt when I was at my low point myself. And I think that's something I want to avoid. So I think I don't want to go back into the remembrance of how I felt back then. Like if I'm brutally honest, I think that's really something. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing this and for being so honest, because this is what allows us to really go there where it's
Yeah.
uncomfortable, maybe, but sometimes it's, or always, it's so necessary to go into the uncomfortable and to tidy up there a little bit so that you can then move on. So, with your permission, I would slow down here a little bit and look at this very closely.
Mm-hmm.
So, you said, and what I hear is, you are scared that you feel again this exhaustion and this low energy and this burnout, right?
So I think the remembering how bad I felt, not that I exactly feel like the low energy, but that I feel that I remember how hard it actually was to go through that whole experience. So just remembering how bad it felt in general.
Okay. So you don't mean that you're afraid of, while you're doing the program, that you will fall back into the burnout, but you're afraid of remembering this state, how you
Yeah.
felt back then.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense now. What is it about this memory that you're afraid of?
I think it's like a feeling, my heart now. I feel my heart is like, I think, I always try to move on, to heal myself. And I did. And I still feel there is a part in me that's like maybe needs acknowledgement for that. It's been a really hard and tough time for myself going through all of this, even though I've been really tough and tough, I mean, that's something that got me into this state anyhow. So I think, yeah, just allowing myself to feel that it was actually a painful time, I think would help in the process.
So you want to allow yourself to feel and to acknowledge yourself for having been there in this painful time. Do you want that we do this together? Do you want to visit there a little bit and see what comes up? And you
Yeah.
don't have to. This is always a choice, but
I think it could, I mean, I think it would help. So, I mean, I think that's why I want to do it, because I think it will be beneficial. Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you for that. Yeah, of course, it won't be like something super comfortable, but in order to heal feelings which are stored in our body from the past, we need to go there and allow them to come up on the surface, because only then we can face them. And that's not very comfortable and pleasant, but only then we can allow them to go, and we can then also move on. Because what I'm sensing throughout our conversation so far is that this is really something that's holding you back. There is a fear of remembering this time. And it's just a fear, and fear is just an illusion. But if we face that, what you are afraid of, then you can release the fear, because then you have faced it, and there is not this ghost there anymore, because you looked at it, and then it can disappear.
Yeah, sounds amazing.
Okay, then let's
yeah.
okay, yeah. Then let's do that, and let's go there. And before we start, when was the time when you felt like super low?
So I think in 2017 was like the low time, like in June, July, like in summer of 2017.
Okay, good. Then let's go there a little bit. And don't worry, we won't stay in the dark. We will go and bring light there so that you can really shine even brighter. But for now, you don't have to do anything special. You just relax wherever you are. And we start by taking a deep breath, deep inhalation and exhalation. And another deep inhalation. When you exhale, you feel your body more and more relaxing. And one more time, inhale deeply. When you exhale next time, you can also close your eyes and feel how your body goes deeper and deeper into a comfortable state of relaxation, where every muscle, every nerve turns loose. And you just relax more and more only by listening to my voice. And the breath is slow and deep, and it brings you deeper into an internal state of yourself. And I want you now, Max, to just visualize that there's a timeline going up in front. And you can step out of your body on this timeline. And you go from the 20th of February in 2024 on this timeline, and you go back 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and you go more and more back until you land in the year 2017 at exactly one point where you know that you felt so low, so exhausted and burned out. And you know exactly which the right scene is there, and you look down and see this scene, and you land there. What do you see?
So I'm in front of my old work, where I used to work, of the building outside. And I'm standing there, and I think I was on a call, or somehow I received the message that my cousin was diagnosed with cancer. And I already felt quite low in energy. And then this was sort of just too much, I already felt overworked and not appreciate it anymore somehow. And then I got this message which reminded me also of my mom, who died when I was 9. And then, it's just all too much.
Yeah. So you see yourself there in your office, where you just have received the message that your cousin has cancer, which caused that a memory came up when your mom died, when you were only 9 years old. And you were already before exhausted and overworked. And how do you feel then when you receive this? What's the feeling in your body?
I think I'm scared because he's just a few years older than me, and like he suddenly has this like disease which could kill him. And like I'm also afraid I might get, because I feel already like my body is not feeling well. So I'm not sure what's going on. So I'm thinking maybe I'm sick too, and maybe I have a disease that could kill me. And it's just a terrible feeling, like anxiety and just overwhelm.
So you feel anxiety, you feel overwhelmed, and most of all, you feel the fear of being sick yourself. And where in your body do you feel that?
So right now, I mean, I feel it actually in my heart. It's like my heart feels like cramped and tight.
Yeah, and I know this is not a comfortable feeling, but I want you for a moment to stay there in your heart where it feels tight and cramped, and just allow it to feel that. Allow yourself to feel this feeling of of fear, this feeling of anxiety, fear of being sick, the fear of dying, together with this shock of the message and the sadness, the memory. And if you like, you can also place your hand there where it hurts and just stay there and breathe into that feeling, whatever it is. Just allowing it to be however it feels. Knowing that's just a feeling and that's not you. And that's okay to feel scared, and it's okay to feel fear. And it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to feel anxiety. How does it feel? Is it the same?
No, it already changed. It's much calmer now because it just changed. To much more relaxed now.
It's calm and relaxed. So it changed already just by giving it the attention, just by feeling it, allowing it to feel. It changed into a calm feeling, a relaxed feeling. And that's so important to understand, that we can only heal what we feel. There was something trapped, which you now release. And I want you now to go back, to focus back on the scene, and you are there and watching this scene from outside, and you see your past self from 2017 being there, sitting there in the office. And you can go to him, and he knows you, and you know him. And you hug each other. And you can tell him, with all the experience that you've gained in all these years, in these 7 years or more, you know way more. You have more wisdom, more knowledge, more life experience that he has. What is it that he needs to hear from you now? What do you want to tell him?
I, I think I tell him that he's going to be fine, and it's
Tell
okay to.
him, say you are going to be fine.
You are going to be fine, and it's okay to be scared, and it's okay to be afraid, and it's normal that you feel this way, and it's time that you take care also of your emotions, and to look after yourself better, because yeah, you are amazing and you deserve to feel good. So don't beat yourself up, and don't punish yourself with working so much and being hard on yourself. It's okay to take a break and to re-evaluate the situation and change things in your life. It's completely normal to choose a new direction when it's needed, and when you see that there's more in you that you're actually allowed to present and to live for yourself. And I'm always here, like, for you, and like my future self is like, you've got this.
What does he say? Or does he say anything?
Who, my future self?
Well, your past self.
My past self. He says, but it's too much. Like, I don't know how. It's like every situation in my life is currently a mess. My relationship, work, then there's cancer again in the family, and like, it's just too much to cope with right now.
What's the difference between you from 2024 and your past self?
I mean, I grew massively. I overcame so many challenges, and especially I let go of like doubting myself and like asking if I'm a worthy person. So now I just feel and know that I'm like good enough, and that no matter actually what life presents to me, I always found ways to deal and to cope. And especially now I know how to cope and deal in a healthy way. So I don't need to like exhaust my body and my mind and myself. So I now have strategies and tools and methods to actually, be like super resilient.
So, what the difference between you from the present and your past self is that you grew massively, you overcame so many challenges, you learned to let go, you now feel worthy of anything, of love, success, and anything. You feel good enough. You know that you deserve the best. You have phenomenal coping skills. You have strategies, tools, methods, techniques which you can use for yourself and many other people you help as a therapist. And you were just talking, but still, we were in this scene from the past, and your past self was observing you while you were saying this. And he sees you with in all this growth, in all this amazing, growth, and whatever you overcame, he sees you, that you did it, and you see it now also. How does this make you feel?
Super empowered, because it's like you've got this, and it's like, yeah, it's a really good feeling knowing that it's all possible, and that like the fear that I had back then was never like, nothing of the fears that I had back then for myself at least became a reality. And I stood up for myself, I changed things, and it improved things actually. So, I mean, even though it was a low point, it got me to a much better place now. So that's also something that's really empowering.
So it's empowering that you grew so much that you know now, if I could overcome this, then I can overcome anything, and everything is possible. And all the fears, the big fears, they didn't turn out to be real. Because what fears also can mean is false expectations. They're just appearing real. It's just an illusion. And you feel now this empowerment, and you see the difference. You see how much you grew. You see how far you have come. You see, even though it was hard and challenging, but you did it. And because you were so low, that's why you could rise so high and shine so bright. And how does this feel? How does this make you feel? Reflecting on that.
I mean, I already want to like raise myself up. It feels really good. I mean, I just feel confident and self-assured, and I see a lot of strength now that's like grew from all of this. And I mean, it was always in me, but now I can see it actually, that it's, yeah.
And where in your body do you feel this feeling of confidence and this strength and this power?
So, I mean, I feel it like I just wanted to make myself like sit more straight, and my shoulders are just like more backwards, and just my posture is like my upper body feels more powerful.
Yeah. And I can see this, obviously. So it's in your upper body where you feel this empowerment, where you feel the strength, where you feel the confidence. And I want you to focus on this feeling now, because the more you focus on it, the stronger it becomes. And just by focusing on it, just feeling it in your upper body, feel this upright position where you feel just so strong, so powerful. You know that you can overcome anything because you did already. You have phenomenal coping skills. You grew so much. You overcame so many challenges, and you learned to let go. You now feel worthy and good enough. You now know you deserve. And no matter what comes in your way, you know how to overcome it. And also, you have the best tools now in your pocket. You know strategies, tools, methods, plus your wisdom and knowledge from your life experience and journey, which you back then didn't have. Now you have. And now, right now, in this moment, when we talk, you feel it. You feel it in your body. You feel it in your upper body. You feel so strong. You feel so confident. You feel this feeling of pride, this feeling of power. And I want you now, Max, that you focus even more on it. You focus on this feeling of confidence, of power, of strength. You can conquer anything. You can master anything. And you can overcome any obstacle that comes in your way. Because you have done so much more already. You grew so much. And this feeling now, it gets stronger and stronger. And if you like, you can even see a scale there where you see the numbers, how the feeling rises right now in this moment, and it goes up from 100 to 200, 500, even gets stronger and stronger and stronger from 500 to 1,000, 2,000. It just gets stronger and stronger. The more you listen, the more you focus, the stronger it gets. And it goes to 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 before we go to the very top. I want you to bring two fingers together. It doesn't matter which one, because we will anchor this beautiful feeling within you. You bring two fingers right now together, and in these two fingers, you anchor this feeling of power, this feeling of confidence, this feeling of strength, the feeling that you know you can overcome anything because you have done already so much. You grew a lot. You are good enough. You know now that you are worthy. You deserve everything. And you have phenomenal coping skills. You are just amazing where you are because you grew so much. You learn to let go. You learn to love yourself, to feel worthy. You feel now so confident, so powerful, so strong. And this feeling goes now up even more and more and more. We go to 100,000, 200,000, goes up and up and up and up. And these fingers are still together. And we anchored this feeling in these two fingers you chose. And know that your subconscious and your body, they will from now on remember this feeling. And it will be triggered just when you bring the finger together. And it will help you to recall this feeling. And it will be there whenever you need it, just a memory. This feeling is anywhere within you. But when you need a little reminder, I can overcome any obstacles. I have everything it takes. I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm confident. Then you just bring these two fingers together. And this will recall this feeling. And then you can again make it as strong as you need it. And this will be there for you always. You can release now and still with the eyes closed. I want you one last time. In this scene in 2017, you see your past self and you ask him if he wants to go with you in his future life into your presence. What does he say?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so then you both together, you go back on this timeline, you step on in 2017, and you fly into the future back to the present until you land on the 20th of February in 2024, where you hear my voice, where you sit in your office. And you know, you have this feeling within you. You uncovered and discovered so much right now. And your past self is with you right now. And you can show him everything you have now, you didn't have back then. Take your time. You can do it just in your head, or you can also say it loud, however you want to. But just take your time for this process and upgrade him into your life now. Know that you have all the time you need, but whenever you're ready, you can just give me a sign or tell me, but take your time.
So I was just showing him all like my like my degrees and like what I've already now accomplished since back then, and like how completely my life actually transformed in something completely different, which is now so much more aligned with myself. And I even wrote a chapter in a book about this, and I mean that's that's just almost unbelievable to him, like what all changed since then.
Yeah, it's almost unbelievable to him, but it's true. You're the proof. You're here.
And also to tell him it's, you know, it's really good and very a sign of strength to express emotions and to allow people to help me. And I think that's like, you know, incredible also for him to see.
Yeah. Amazing. And When you were right now showing him all these achievements, all your certificates, everything you did so far, and even you wrote the chapter in a book, how do you feel?
I feel pretty like amazing.
Pretty amazing. I love that. What does pretty amazing mean for you?
It's like proud and very like from a person who really doubted himself to a person who found the strength that's within himself. I think that's just like a feeling that's hard to describe, and probably especially since like there is so like the difference is so incredibly huge that it's just a very proud feeling, you know, just to being able to do all of this and still help others now to do this. Yeah.
So there's a proud feeling. You feel so proud of yourself. Not only have you overcome all these obstacles and challenges and fears, but also are you now there to help so many other people, because you know how to overcome these self-doubt and to transform them into strength, into power, confidence. Amazing. And I want you now to know that your past self, he can always stay there with you. He knows now that all this story will end with a happy end, where he and you are on a point that he can not believe, because it's so great. It's so pretty awesome. It's amazing because you grew, you overcame, you let go. You have amazing coping skills. You know that whatever comes up, you can overcome any obstacles. Because of your wisdom, of your knowledge, and all the tools you have. And you feel so proud of yourself, of where you are and what you've done. And knowing that this feeling of pride and this feeling of confidence and this feeling of strength and power all together is in you and will always be there. It was always, but it was just covered. But now we uncovered it. You can always access it. And whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes.
Wow. Wow, that was a journey.
Yes. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel really good now. It just feels more complete now. Like, I don't know, I think that's the right word. It's more complete because it's always been something that's a part of me, but I think it wasn't fully with me. Like, you know, the feeling that was stuck here, I think now feels just like fully immersed and integrated, so it's transformed now and released. And I really felt like in my body, like the sensation, like the movement of the emotions in a good way, how it just flew through my body. And now I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I love that. So you transformed your feelings, your emotions. You released trapped emotions where you, at the beginning of our conversation, were not really keen on going there and opening this door. We all don't like that because it's painful. But because you did, you transformed just by witnessing this feeling and going there. You transformed this feeling of fear into a feeling of strength and confidence. Is that correct? I'm using your words.
Yeah.
And when you look now, one more time, let's just check and go maybe a little bit deep or in the past. When you look now on your heart or around this place where you felt this feeling of fear and of sadness, what do you feel there now?
It's much lighter. I think I feel now, since I've connected like with it, I think there's still something, but that's probably like connected with the hurt and pain of when my mother died. And I think there's still a little something connected to that. But from prior to now, it feels much more open, like
Open. I love that. And just to test if it worked, what we did, when you bring these two fingers together, whichever you chose, and you focus on this feeling of confidence, do you tell me what do you feel when you bring these fingers together?
yeah, I feel just like the energy is like rising, like it's like just building me up from from like it's rising from below, and then it's just like, and then it's just really feeling amazing. It's just like bam. It's like,
I love it. So we anchored it, and now you know how to bring up this feeling whenever
yes,
you need it.
yes, it's almost addictive.
Do it. That's a good addiction, and you cannot overuse it. Practice
Yes,
it often, even if you think you don't need it. Just practice, just for fun.
yeah,
And when you think now about your goal, about your program you want to launch, what
yeah.
has shifted?
It's like, it's like this. It's no question I can do this, and it's gonna be like really, it's gonna be amazing. I just feel ultra confident now in, like, it's no question. I think before I was always like a bit more hesitant, like sort of I knew I can do it, but it was still a bit all more vague. And now, like, especially when I use like the anchor, it's like no question. It's like I want it, I can do it. And that just like moves, like the line becomes more straight towards the goal. Like if I think in a picture now, it's just like it strengthened the whole process somehow to not be so wobbly. Can I do it? Should I do it? Will I do it? To be like
So it's a more straight line. I love it. So what I hear in your words is that these self-thoughts or this was holding you back now is released, and you can, instead of questioning yourself over and over again, just move forward. And what's the next step you will do towards your goal?
So the next step is I've already created a rough timeline. It's not so rough, but it's like I need to now just break it down towards like the action steps that like I will need to take. So I have the big timelines, but now I need to just break down what does it mean to have this done, and then to create action steps towards these bigger goals, so to speak, so I can actually launch then my program, which I now decided on to do on. I'm like, can I say it? Or like now it's on like, okay, I can still say it even if I need to rearrange it. I plan to do it now on the 18th of April, which is quite, because sometimes I like to challenge myself. Sometimes I like to keep it in the distant future, but this feels like sort of not too far away, because I rather learn in the process and then I will optimize than just try to make it in my mind perfect, so to say. So I'd rather progress, and that's a goal I want to, I am going to achieve.
Amazing. So your next step would be to break down. You have already the timeline, and you have the big goal, and you have even a launching date. And you want to now break down in little doable action steps so that you have a plan where you can move forward. And when will you do that? When will you start?
I will start today.
Amazing. I love that. Do that. And
because
that's great.
now I
Yeah,
feel
good.
excited, and I already, yes, I will start today to break it down and to, yeah.
Amazing. And what will you do if there comes up a feeling again of hesitation or doubt?
I mean, I definitely will use my fingers. I mean, that's for sure. And I think when I have the the action steps, I will just tell myself, just do the next step. So it's always just the next step. So because sometimes, it's the big goal that keeps that's big and that's maybe causing to be afraid of something. But I will focus then just on the next step, because it's always just one more step. And then I come closer towards my goal. I think that's something I would like to do. Instead of being like, oh my God, what's going to be this and that? Next step.
Amazing. So that sounds like a bulletproof plan.
I hope so.
And yeah, I love it. And you can always use this
Yes, I will
anchor
always, of
whenever
course.
you
Yes.
need it. And this will give you the fuel. It will help you to overcome any fear and hesitation.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what was the biggest takeaway from today's call?
It was an amazing call. I didn't know what to expect. And I'm like, just so happy. Like, this was 1 hour and it's like, wow. My biggest takeaway was actually, it didn't take a lot of time to feel like the pain that was in my heart, but it created the biggest shift just to feel it. Even it didn't take a lot, which actually surprised me. The whole methodology in hypnosis, but this actually felt sort of like the most amazing change in a really comfortable way. Even, of course, feeling the pain is not comfortable. I felt comfortable in doing it. And I think this just was an amazing takeaway, just allow the feeling. I know it's like, I know the mental concept, but to actually then embrace it and live it is still something I realize now. It's something I'm growing into doing. And this was like I think for me, on a feeling basis, the most amazing takeaway. And then also to bring my past self back to today, to really realize, you've got this. It's like, it's in you. It's always been there, and just to uncover it. I think, it's overall, it's just was amazing.
Thank you for that. Yeah, and it's like you said, we all are the same, and especially if you're in the field of coaching and therapy, we know that we have to feel what we need to heal, but then, and we often use it for our clients, but then do we do it for ourselves really? And when we do it, then we feel the shift. Then it's like, oh my God, yes, I almost forgot how it is.
Exactly. And actually,
why.
I love it, because so oftentimes I actually have clients and I'm like, oh my God, they are so transformed. And I'm like, I need this. And today I really got it, like in the most best way I could have imagined.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, and I was just about to say, and that's why I think we can only be good coaches and therapists if we have a coach ourselves. I don't know any successful therapist or coach who doesn't have a coach or more themselves. And that's what we often forget, to take care about ourselves so that we can give again to our clients.
Exactly. Because we can only be as good as we allow also ourselves to be ourselves, right? And then I think that's the integration work that constantly is evolving, because we grow as humans all the time. And then I totally agree with you. It's the most important thing, to keep on working on yourself.
Yeah, amazing. So thank you so much, Max, for being here with me today. And I can't wait to see you next time. You have your action steps, you're ready to go. And I can't wait what you tell me how it was that you will work on that. You will start today with breaking the big plan into doable steps. You are equipped with your feeling, with your boost
Yes,
whenever
exactly.
you need it.
Yeah,
And yeah, curious what you will tell me next week.
absolutely. Thank you so much. This was really,
Thank you.
really an incredible session.
Thank you.